Hi, today we are going to see the topic measuring the rate of motion, uniform motion and non-uniform motion. In the previous class, we have learned what is motion. What is motion? Motion is a phenomenon of change of position of an object with respect to time. Different objects may take different amount of time to cover a particular distance. Let us see an example. Let us consider two players, player 1 and player 2. So player 1 travels from a distance A to a distance B, which is 1 kilometer, and he takes 5 minutes. Similarly, player 2 also travels the same distance, that is from point A to point B, which is 1 kilometer, but player 2, he takes 10 minutes. So, similarly, many objects may take different amount of time to cover a particular distance. So, can we calculate the rate of motion? Yes, we can calculate the rate of motion using two quantities, that is nothing but speed and velocity. In the previous classes, we have already discussed two quantities. Do you remember what were the quantities? Yes, it is distance and displacement. So, in today's class, let us discuss what is speed and velocity. Speed can be written as distance by time, whereas velocity can be written as displacement by time. What is the definition of speed? Speed is nothing but the distance traveled by an object in a particular time. And what is velocity? Velocity is also speed, but it is speed with direction. Now, what is the SI unit of speed and velocity? SI unit of speed, that is the SI unit of distance, is meters, and the SI unit of time is seconds. So the SI unit of speed is meters per second. Similarly, the SI unit of velocity is also meter per second. Because the SI unit of displacement is meter, you have already studied in the previous class, and the SI unit of time is seconds. Now, the speed is, can you guess what quantity is speed? Is it a scalar quantity or a vector quantity? Yes, it is a scalar quantity. Why? We have already seen that distance is a scalar quantity. Therefore, the speed is also a scalar quantity. And what about velocity? Do you remember? We have seen that displacement is a vector quantity. So, what will the velocity be? Yeah, velocity is also a vector quantity. Now, we should know how to calculate the average speed and average velocity. The formula for average speed is total distance covered by an object by total time. Okay. Now, what is average velocity? Average velocity is the total displacement by total time. calculate the average speed and average velocity? We calculate average speed and average velocity if an object travels at different speeds to cover a particular distance. So let us see in detail. Let's see an example. Let us take an object travels from a point A to a point D, which is 100 kilometers. And from the initial point, he travels a distance of 50 kilometers at a speed of 2 hours. That is, he takes 2 hours to cover 50 kilometers. And for the next 25 kilometers, let us take this as B, let us take this as C. Next 25 kilometers, an object has taken 1 hour to travel 25. And for further 25 kilometers, let us consider the object has taken 2 hours to cover this 25 kilometer. So what has that object done? Object has traveled a distance of 100 kilometers at different speeds. Initially, he traveled with a speed of 50 kilometer in 2 hours, whereas next he traveled 25 kilometers in 1 hour, and the next 25 kilometers he has taken 2 hours to complete. So with this example, let us calculate the average speed. So by definition, what is average speed? Average speed is the total distance. What is the total distance? Total distance is 100 kilometer. And what is the total time? Total time is 2 hours plus 1 hour plus 2 hours. That is, in total, to cover a distance of 100 kilometer, the object has taken 5 hours. So now, what is the average speed? 5 ones, 5 twos. 20. 5 ones are 5 20s. So it is 20 kilometer per hour. Similarly, let us calculate what is the average velocity. Average velocity, by definition, it is total displacement. The difference is the displacement is a distance along with the direction. And in this case, the object is traveling in the same direction. Therefore, the distance and displacement will be same. So, the total displacement is 100 kilometers. And the total time, that is also same, it is 5 kilometers. Sorry, 5 hours. So, you will get an average velocity, which is nothing but 20 kilometer per hour. So this is how we calculate average velocity and average speed for an object going with a variable speed. See, here the speed is different. Here he has taken 2 hours, then he has taken 1 hour, and again he has taken 2 hours to cover different distances. So he is traveling at a variable speed. Okay, now how to find the average velocity of an object changing at uniform speed? Suppose the object is traveling with uniform speed and it is not traveling in a straight line. Last example, it is traveling in a straight line. So it is traveling from the point A to a point B. Now for this kind of problems, how can we calculate the average velocity? The formula is average velocity is equal to initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. So let us consider the object started with a speed or with a velocity of 2 kilometers per hour. and by the time it reached its destination, that is B, the speed of an object or the velocity of the object was 8 km/h. So in this case, we know the initial velocity, that is the velocity at which the object started to travel, and the final velocity, the velocity of the object by the time it was about to reach its destination. So we have the initial velocity and the final velocity. With this, how can we calculate average velocity? Yes, average velocity is nothing but initial velocity. Initial velocity, do not forget, it is represented by the letter U. And the final velocity is represented by the letter V. Here goes the formula. It is average velocity is equal to U plus V by 2, where U is nothing but the initial velocity and V is nothing but the final velocity. So in this case, what is the initial velocity? Yes, it is 2 km/h. So it is 2 km/h plus what is the final velocity? It is 8 km/h. 8 km/h, and it is divided by 2. So 2 plus 8, it is 10 km/h by 2, and the average velocity is 5 km/h. The average velocity is 5 km/h. So hope you understood how to calculate the average velocity of an object traveling in a straight line with variable speed, and the average velocity of an object traveling at uniform speed. So for calculating average speed, we have got two formulas, and the first formula is to find the average velocity of an object along a straight line at variable speed, that is total distance by total time. Whereas the second formula is to calculate the average velocity of an object changing but at uniform speed, that is the velocity of the object changes, but it changes uniformly, and the formula is U plus V by 2, where U is the initial velocity, V is the final velocity. Now we are going to discuss about what is uniform speed and non-uniform speed. What is uniform speed? And an object is said to be in uniform speed if it covers equal distances. See, this is very important. If it covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. Equal intervals of time. So an object is said to be in uniform speed if it covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. And when is the object said to be in non-uniform speed? The object is said to be in non-uniform speed if the object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. So here the time period are equal, but what is different? The distance covered is different. Here it is equal distance and here it is unequal distance. Let's see with an example. Let us take an object travels from point A to point D, and it covers the first 2 kilometers in 1 hour, and again it covers the next 2 kilometers in same 1 hour, and again the next 2 kilometers in 1 hour. So here if you see, the object has covered equal distances. See, equal distances of 2 kilometers, 2 kilometers and 2 kilometers. Here the object has covered equal distances at equal intervals of time. So from this, if you calculate the speed, let us calculate the speed of an object traveling from the point A to B. It is distance by time, so it is 2 by 1 kilometer per hour, that is nothing but 2 kilometer per hour. Similarly, if you see the speed of an object traveling from the point B to C, it is 2 kilometer per 1 hour, that is nothing but 2 kilometer per hour. Similarly, the speed from C to D, it is same 2 kilometer per 1 hour and it is 2 kilometer per hour. So in this, what can you see? The speed are the same. The speed at each distances are the same. That means we can say that the object is traveling at a uniform speed. Okay. So if an object travels at a uniform speed, the value of speed or velocity will be constant. Speed, or you can call it as velocity, is constant. The speed or the velocity is constant. For uniform speed, let us consider an object traveling from a point A to a point D. But here we need unequal distances. So the object travels to a point B, which is 4 kilometer in 1 hour. Again, the object travels from a point B to a point C, which is 2 kilometers in 1 hour. And again from C to D, which is 1 kilometer, and he takes 1 hour to cover 1 kilometer. So in this example, if you see, the object has covered unequal distances. See, here it is 4 kilometer, here it is 2, and here it is 1. So he has covered unequal distances but in equal intervals of time. See, here it is 1 hour and 1 hour. So he has covered equal intervals of time, but he has covered unequal distances. So in this case, if you calculate the speed, let us see how it goes. So the speed of an object traveling from point A to point B can be written as 4 kilometer per 1 hour, because it is distance by time. So the answer is 4 kilometer per hour. And speed of the object traveling from point B to C, he has taken 2 kilometer. The distance is 2 kilometer in 1 hour. Therefore, he travels at the speed of 2 kilometer per hour. And finally, the speed of an object traveling from the point C to D, it is 1 kilometer in 1 hour. Therefore, it is the speed the object has traveled is 1 kilometer per hour. So in this, what did you see? The value of speed is varying. That is, it is different. Here it is 4 kilometer, then 2 and 1 kilometer per hour. So the speed is non-uniform. It is not the same. So that is what we call it as non-uniform speed. So in non-uniform speed, the speed keeps changing or the speed varies. So hope you understood. So an object is said to be in uniform speed if the object covers equal distances and equal intervals of time. And here the speed or the velocity will be constant. Whereas in non-uniform speed, the object covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. And here the speed or the velocity changes. So the speed varies in non-uniform speed. Now let us see a problem. An object travels 16 meters in 4 seconds and then another 16 minutes in 2 seconds. what is the average speed of the object? So what are they asking? They are asking the average speed of the object. So now you should be knowing what is the formula to calculate the average speed of the object. Yeah, the average speed is equal to total distance by total time. So let's see what the problem is about. The object travels 16 meters. So from here, the object, it travels 16 meters and it has taken how many seconds? 4 seconds. And again, it travels for 16 meters. And again, it travels for 16 meters and it has taken 2 seconds. So the object travels 16 meters in 4 seconds and again the object travels 16 meters in 2 seconds. So what is the total distance traveled? Total distance traveled is equal to 16 meters plus 16 meters, which is nothing, 32 meters. Now what is the total time it has taken? Total time is equal to 4 seconds plus 2 seconds, which is nothing but 6 seconds. And by the formula, what is average velocity? Average speed? Average speed is equal to total distance by total time, which is nothing but, what is the total distance? 32 meter by total time 6 seconds. That is nothing but 5.3 meter per second. So the average speed of the object is 5.3 meter per second. Before going to the next problem, let us see how to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. So we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Now let's take an example. Let us convert 5 kilometer per hour into meter per second. This can be written as 5 into 1 kilometer per 1 hour. That is nothing but 5 into, what is 1 kilometer? It is 1000 meters. So 1000 meters by, how much is 1 hour? It is 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds. Now you will get 5 by 18. So you get 25 by 25 meters by 18 seconds. 1.38 meter per seconds. So 5 kilometer per hour is nothing but 1.38 meter per second. So this is how the conversion is. So instead of writing 1000 by 3600, you can also directly write 5 by 18 while doing the calculations. That is, for example, if you want to convert, let us take 6 kilometer per hour. Let's see how to convert. 6 kilometer per hour into meter per seconds. So we can write 6 into 5 by 18, which is nothing but 6 ones are 6 threes are. So you will get 5 by 3, which is nothing but 1.6 meter per second. Now let's see how to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour. We already know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meter. So from this, how much is 1 meter? 1 meter is equal to 1 by 1000 kilometer. Similarly, we know that 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So how much is 1 second? 1 second is equal to 1 by 3600 hours. Okay, so you should be thorough with this. So we will be using this equation and this value for the conversion of meter per second into kilometer per hour. So let us take an example to convert 500 meter per second. So this can be written as 500 into 1 meter per 1 second, which is nothing but 500 into, what is 1 meter? It is 1 by 1000. 1 by 1000 divided by, what is 1 second? It is 1 by 3600. 3600. Now, you can write 500 into 1 by 1000, taking the denominator on to the top, you will get 3600 by 1, which is nothing but 500 into 3600 by 1000, and here you will get 18 by 5. Therefore, you will get 1800 kilometer per hour. 1800 kilometer per hour. So instead of writing the whole thing, you can just write 18 by 5 while doing the calculations for converting meter per second into kilometer per hour. For example, let us see. Let's convert 300 meter per second into kilometer per hour. So this you can write it as 300 into 18 by 5, which is nothing but 60, which is equal to 1080 kilometer per hour. So far we have learned how to convert from kilometer per hour to meter per second and meter per second into kilometer per hour. Now let's see a problem. The odometer of a car reads 2000 kilometers at the start of a trip and 2400 kilometers at the end of the trip. If the trip took 8 hours, calculate the average speed of the car. So in this question, we have to calculate the average speed of the car. Now, what is odometer? Odometer is an instrument, and that instrument is used in cars to measure the distance travelled. The odometer of a car reads 2000 kilometer at the start. So the initial reading is 2000 kilometer and 2400 kilometers at the end. So the final reading is 2400 kilometers. And if you want to know the exact kilometer between the initial and final, what should we do? So we have to subtract final value and the initial value. The distance covered by the car. So the distance covered by the car is nothing but final distance, that is 2400 minus 2000, which is nothing but 400 kilometers. So this is the distance traveled by the car. What is the time taken? The trip took 8 hours. So time taken by the car is equal to 8 hours. So from this, can we calculate the average speed? Yes, because they have asked to calculate the average speed of the car. So by definition, we know that average speed is equal to total distance by total time. So substituting the values, we get what is the total distance covered? 400 kilometers. By what is the total time taken? It is 8 hours, which is nothing but 50 kilometer per hour. So what is the average speed of the car? The average speed of the car is 50 kilometer per hour. Sorry, they have asked you to calculate the average speed of the car in kilometer per hour and meter per second. So we have already got the value in kilometer per hour. Now we have to find the value of average speed in meter per second. So since we have got kilometer per hour, we can convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. So what should we do to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? Yes, we have to multiply by 5 by 18. Therefore, average speed in meter per second is equal to, it is 50 kilometer per hour, right? So you can write 50 into 5 by 18, which is nothing but 13.9 meter per second. Okay, 13.9 meter per second. So they have asked you to calculate the average speed of the car in kilometer per hour and in meter per second. We have calculated and found out the answer in kilometer per hour, which is nothing but 50 kilometer per hour. Now this we have to convert into meter per second. We have to simply multiply by 5 by 18 and we get 13.9 meter per second. Hope you understood the concepts of today's class. So in this we have discussed how to measure the rate of motion. That is, we have seen two physical quantities, speed and velocity, and we have discussed about uniform speed and non-uniform speed, and we have learned how to convert from kilometer to meter per kilometer per hour to meter per second, and meter per second to kilometer per hour. Based on that, we have seen a few problems. Hope today's class was clear. If you have any doubts, you can write it in the comment box, and if you really like this class, please subscribe and share it with your friends.